Okay, this was the homework question, and a few people are still struggling with some basic things. So it says the diagram shows a sketch of curve C, and with the equation y equals 2 root x minus 3, and the equation of the line, this is a diagonal, y equals 10 minus 1.28x. Okay, first thing, this part here, this is the domain. So it's saying that the x we put into the equation has to be 0 or greater. So that's why the graph only starts there. Right. So first thing, we want to find where the line cuts the curve at point P. So there's P. So the line cuts the curve at that point P. Now P is basically the intersection. So that means the intersection at point P must be on the line L and it must be on the curve C. So if that is true, that means that if y at that point equals 2 root x minus 3, and also y at that point equals 10 minus 1.28x, then as they both equal y, they must equal each other. So 2 root x minus 3 equals 10 minus 1.28x. Right, now we're on our way. So now we're trying to find x because we only have one unknown. So let's combine them together. Okay, so I'm going to add 1.28x so to both sides. I've got 1.28x. I've already got 2 root x. I've got minus 3. If I take away this 10, I've got minus 13. Now on the right hand side, I've got nothing left. So now I've got a quadratic. So I've got an equation, sorry, at the moment. That's equal to 0. Now, remember we said we're looking for a common factor. Because I want to solve this, but it's not x squared x. So my common factor is the square root of x. Because I can divide both of these by the square root of x. So I'll rewrite it. So I've got 1.28 times something squared to make it a quadratic plus something times my common factor equals 0. Right, so what goes in? Well, it's the square root of x. And the square root of x times the square root of x is x. So that's my common factor. So now the substitution is that y equals the square root of x. Now that means I can write my equation as 1.28 times y squared plus 2y minus 13 equals 0. Right. Now, if I solve the equation, I'll get a value for y. Okay, and I get that y is 5 over 2, or y is minus 65 over 16. Well, we can see that y is positive, can't we? Okay, so we're going to look at the 5 over 2. Now remember the substitution. If y is equal to the square root of x, that means that the square root of x is equal to 5 over 2. And I want x. So x is equal to 5 squared, 25, over 2 squared, which is 4. Okay, and that is the x coordinate of point P. And we've answered part A. Okay, now the second part says the region R is enclosed by the curve C, the line L, and a vertical line that goes through the point, a vertical line through the point where L that line meets the x-axis. Okay, I'm going to identify the inequalities that define R. So there are 3 inequalities. So we need to find this one first. So if it goes to that point where where C intersects the x-axis, that means I need to find the x-intercept of C. So C is y equals 2 root x minus 3. Well, the x-intercept is simply where y equals 0, because that's what defines the x-axis. Okay, so now if 0 is 2 times the square root of x minus 3, well, then 3 must be 2 lots the square root of x, and 3 over 2 must be the square root of x. So then 9 over 4 must be x. Okay, and that's 2.25. Okay, so now all I've got to do is write down the 3 inequalities. So I've got this line first. I'm colouring below. So the first one is that y is less than or equal, because it says that all 3 lines are included, my line, which is 10 minus 1.28x. The second one is the line C. So it's above the line C. So y is greater or equal, because again the line is included, to root x minus 3. And then finally, our vertical line that we just found, x is greater or equal to 9 over 4. And that takes care of part B. Okay, so basic algebra skills, really.